So as you can see, I'm right in the middle of my accessory table build, and I'm gonna tell you what, when it comes to tricking out your accessory table, I've got a couple options today that you are definitely gonna wanna see. Hey guys, welcome to the General's Workshop. I'm Joshua, and I'm super excited because I've been paying attention in my shop to the things that cause a little bit of unnecessary strain, right? And one of the things that continuously has been just an awkward thing is when you're moving full sheets of plywood, right? You're trying to not only get it up, but you're trying to get it onto the table, and it's just big. It's not that the weight is necessarily a challenge, but I do know that as I age and as I get older, the weight will become a challenge in addition to the already challenging bigness of the sheet of plywood. So that got me thinking, how can I go ahead and start to design something that would work as far as creating like a swing arm mechanism, something that will help me to kind of more effortlessly lift that piece of plywood in its full form, a 4x8 sheet, onto the actual top of the assembly table. I've got two options for you, okay? Each of these has its own pros and cons. I'm gonna let you guys decide which one you like. I already know which one I picked. You'll have to stick around if you want to see what that is. But hey, the first option, guys, this is super simple, and there's a lot of pros to this one. Very robust. This is simply 3/4 inch plywood. This is a removable, simply take the cap, it comes off, and I'm gonna show you a little bit more later. But this is an on and off that allows you to keep this on and use this as a hanger slash hook, which I actually really like. And secret, these 3/4 inch pipes are simply the extensions that I use for my pipe clamps that I've got up top, which you can never have enough of those. So it's kind of got a dual purpose. So very robust with little angle iron at the bottom to allow you to hook the plywood, as opposed to, once it's off, you've got this swing arm, which is a little bit more low profile. So as I envision the future, I can't help but anticipate the challenges of aging in the workshop. Let's go back to the future and fast forward 43 years. Guess what? I still want to be out here tinkering away. That's why it's essential to start planning now, creating opportunities to reduce strain on our bodies and ensure the longevity of our craft. So for me, whether it's maneuvering around the workspace or tackling various tasks, age presents unique challenges. It just does. So implementing thoughtful solutions allows us to preserve our woodworking passion well into our golden years, ensuring that it remains accessible for long periods of time. So today's video is sponsored by this thought process. Every decision we make today shapes our future. By investing a bit of time and effort now, we're paving the way for a smoother, more enjoyable journey ahead. Let's do something today that your future self will thank you for. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So for this design, I did nothing more than one, take that width of this frame on the outside, and I made this piece of plywood a little bit narrower by 1/2 inch. And then I just got a piano hinge that has a non-removable pin that I used as my access point, if you will, on the top, making the length of it end just shy of where my wheels are. All that is a simple piece, straight length. Make it adjust into whatever your guys' length is. And then I just created two different, I did a 3/4 inch and a 1/4 inch, so that my total gap between the back to the front lip is actually going to be 1 inch, knowing that probably the max I'll be using is 1 inch to fit inside of that. And then just one slightly oversized piece on this bottom edge, kind of creating that lip. Now on the back side of this, if you can kind of see it, we've got these foam pads. We've been working on our Juggernaut suit for our airsoft crew, and I have these little foam pieces that we were going to throw away, and so I thought about just kind of creating a bumper, so that way when it drops, you've got a dense foam that's absorbing the impact of that. Then they're stowed out of the way. Now, of course, I will be painting this just because I feel like I like the aesthetics better. However, I thought that it shows off more, meaning it doesn't blend into the background if I kept it in its original form here. So other than putting a little bit of black graphite in that hinge so it's not as loud, it's a little bit creaky with that. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And then I'm gonna paint this as well once it's done. But now let me show you that 3/4 inch black pipe. So I want to offer up two different designs when it comes to that, that piping. This is nothing more than a 36 inch, as my tabletop is roughly going to be at about 32 inches. And All this is a 36-inch already pre-threaded on both ends. You can buy these at your local box store. And then what I did is I took a 3/4 inch T and put that on. Why did I use 3/4 inch? Because my pipe that's affixed to the table is a 1/2 inch. So this slides right over top of it, creating that ability for it to hinge up and down and rotate without issue. Now, the one thing I'll do is, and this again, super simple, you guys, this is taking a 45-degree street elbow, right? And then linking that up with a 3/4 inch 90 that I just put a cap on the top. All right, now you can see that's got that initial bend is 45. Here's the alternative. If you were to do a 90 and a 90, right, 90 and 90, but notice the angle, the board comes down, you almost have to move it forward once it's rested back, but you can't drop it right into the slot. You have to put it in here, lay it back, then move it forward. And because of that extra little step, I actually prefer this one more so than I do the opposite one. When it comes to all the options that I presented, I have to admit that this is probably going to be my favorite one. And in fact, this will be the one that I'll keep for a few different reasons. One, if I was forced to give some drawbacks to the system, I would say the only drawback I really feel like is with, or there's two, is going to be one, the impact, which is why I have the mat here. Obviously, it takes the brunt of the impact of this coming down. Second of all, it's out. So when it's in its deployed position, you have to basically remove it. Yes, it's a small step, but the opposite brilliant is I've already got these on hand because I use them for my pipe clamps, which I said earlier. So I think I'm going to end up going with this particular one right here. I'm actually loving it. The main thing that I liked about this one is I did this entire one with all scrap wood. This one here, you could put it together with probably leftover stuff. So the only thing you would have to buy would be the hinge if you don't already have that. I didn't have one that was small enough. This is a 2.5 inch utility hinge that I ended up using. So that was the only thing that I had to buy. Now, from a scrap wood perspective, guys, let me show you something. A couple of weeks ago, I actually built this scrap wood bin that has these size indicators. And if you haven't seen that video, man, it is an absolutely fantastic one. And I think this is an idea that more people should use that gives you an instant reference. So if you haven't seen that one, go ahead and check out this video up top here, and we'll see you next time.